Well, hi friends, and welcome back to House to House. Today I want to share my health story with you. By the way, today is a very rainy, stormy day. It's been rainy and stormy for about 3 days now, and my hair can tell the story. You guys know, some of you may know that I am curly, and I straighten it, but today it's like there was 0 point in trying to straighten it because it was just gonna reach out for the moisture in the air, and so I'm running with it. So today it's wild and crazy hair. But I wanted to share my health story today because it is foundational to our house, why we run our family the way we do, why I run my business, and it's such a great story of God's faithfulness and His kindness. And I want to share it in case there are any of you out there who are walking through similar things. Chronic illness is a thing, but it is not, it doesn't need to define us. And also there is hope for healing. Joe and I, we struggled to get pregnant, and for a long time, we tried all the natural approaches to fertility, and we tried for 10 years to conceive and never did. And so we had made a list of all the things we wanted to try, and did all the things. The last thing on our list was to try fertility drugs. My acupuncturist said, hey, there's this study happening at the big research hospital here, and I think that you guys would be amazing candidates for that study. If they accept you, the program would be completely free, and it would be 4 months of treatment for free. Fertility treatments were never on our yes list, but fertility drugs were on the maybe list. But we looked into it, and we just felt that the Lord was leading us into that, and He truly was opening the door for that. We candidated for it and got in, and started the treatments. And about 3 months into it, my body crashed, and we didn't know at the time what was happening, but what happened was my liver was poisoned from the treatments, and a whole host of things went awry in my system and my body. And I actually ended up spending a year in bed, basically not able to function, not able to care for myself. And so that year was a very, very dark, scary year that we had to sell our house, and my husband needed to quit his job to help take care of me. We moved in with our parents, and we actually moved into this very room, and we sold a bunch of stuff, and we just basically just had the basics around us. We had our loving family around us praying, and we had the Lord. But we didn't know what was wrong with my body at the time. We didn't know why I had crashed, and we didn't know if I was going to live, if I had a future. And so we were just kind of taking one moment at a time. So that was just a year of mystery. What is going on? What is happening? Why am I not able to function on so many levels? And I had my mom-in-law and my mom were taking shifts to take care of me during the day. When Joe quit his job, he was able to take a few hours at church at my job, so he kind of took over my secretary position, and God really used that to open the door to a whole nother thing, which I want to testify to, that when our trials are difficult, it's because God is doing good things, and he's also preparing us for future blessings. This particular year was really hard because we had no answers as to why my health was why my body was crashing. And so at last, after praying and seeking the Lord's face, going to many doctors and getting no answers except that more and more they were just saying, you need to be on emotional medication. You need to see a psychiatrist. There was no medical reason that they could find that I was bedridden. And so that was really hard and really frustrating. And I knew that I had been healthy and well before the treatments, and after the treatments I wasn't. So we knew in our rational minds that there was a reason, and we weren't just making this up. Toward the end of that year, God led us to a holistic chiropractor. A friend of us led us toward him, and we are so very grateful because he basically, did all the testing that they have an amazing access to. And he said, yeah, your liver is shot and your gut is shot, and we need to clean house and rebuild. And so he started me on a protocol, that very day. And within a week, I felt a shift in my body, and I was able to sit up, to get out of bed, use my own legs, to begin to live again. And I could feel a shift, and there was a light at the end of the tunnel. And so for the next, probably 2-3 years, I was following his protocols, and it was life-saving. It really, really was life-saving because all the other doctors I had gone to that were more traditional just did not have any answers and had no tools for me. And so to be given tools to say God has made these for our bodies, and there are tools for health and for healing. Let's try it. And to have that given to you is so importantly empowering. We need to know that God has given us those things, and obviously doesn't heal every last person, but he does give us good gifts. And so that often comes in the form of a natural, holistic approach to healing. So this was eye-opening to Joe and I. We had never considered things like this before. And one of the things that he required of us was to clean up the toxic levels in our home. So the things that we were using that were high chemicals, toxic chemicals, synthetic chemicals, and we had to look kind of at every category of our home life and take a good look at it and say, what are we using here, in the laundry room, in the kitchen, in the bathroom, just in general, and cleaning our home. And then what kind of foods are we eating? Now, the reason why this was so critical was because my liver was so overloaded with toxins that it needed all the help it could get to help my body clean up. So if I was continually putting toxins in, it was going to have to deal with those things before it could even start to handle the chemicals that were underneath from all the fertility treatments. So it was very paramount that we take a look and make changes. And so at that point, we did not have access to any sort of budget-friendly, all-natural, non-toxic anything, whether it was makeup or home care or personal care items or laundry soap or whatever. We really had to do a lot of research, and we really had to buy whatever we could find, whether it was affordable or not. And so we did our best, and that was the beginning of the understanding of how to build a non-toxic home as much as we are able. When we have our own home and we are the keepers of our home, we have the ability to choose what goes into our bodies, and we would like to keep our bodies as healthy as possible so that we can function as well as possible. So that began our journey. So the next part of our story is that we moved into a moldy house. So I already told you a little bit about Heisa House and how lovely it was and how beautiful it was and how God used it in huge ways. We literally, that door was always swinging open. We had people coming and going. But amidst that, and this is hard to believe because this is just proof that God can do more than you can ask or think. And His strength is our strength. So in our weakness, God is strong. Amidst all of what was going on with hospitality, I was actually tanking again. And we were so mystified by this because I had been doing so well. But we come to find out that our house is moldy and there's a lake under the house. We tried to remediate that and we did. And then the house was still moldy and we were trying to figure out why. And so we went round and round for about 3 years, I think, trying to figure out what these issues were. It was really, really killing me. And it was shocking how much I was tanking every year. I could kind of see by the end of the year, I was not able to function as a human being should function. I wasn't able to get out of bed without Joe bringing me food immediately. I wasn't able to do anything more than, shower. Maybe if I could shower in a day, I was having a good day. Incredible fatigue and just bizarre symptoms. And I would have to eat every 45 minutes or so to keep proper blood sugar levels, though I was not diabetic and I had been tested for all that, and it just made zero sense. We didn't know that I had mold poisoning until toward the end when I actually got a blood test and got it confirmed. We did know that there had been mold in the house and we were remediating and thought we got it fixed, and then it just went from there. It was a long saga, a mold saga. God led us all the way along. He led us in the right direction, and we might have been going this direction, and then he said, oh, go over here, and then go over here now, and it looked a little bit meandering and a little bit like we weren't going in a straight line, but that was on purpose because we needed to have each experience in order to learn. And I thank Him so much for asking me to walk through these things, because since then I have been able to help so many people, walk alongside them as they're going through their things and point them in directions of supports and tools and helps and doctors. And I can't thank the Lord enough, because I have been able to be the person that I needed in that moment. My friend was saying, Jen, I know a chiropractor. He's in this area. We've gone to him for years. He's very trustworthy and he's a problem solver. Now, that was life-saving for Joe and I, because we had no hope and no idea what to do. And we turned around and now have been able to become that kind of person for so many people. Just handing out hope and handing out direction and tools. So I want to encourage you with that God knows your journey and that He is bringing you to the right people at the right time. And if I'm one of those people that can be just a sharer of information or a bringer of good ideas, or just someone who's going to tap into your understanding and go, that's what I'm struggling with, or that's what I'd like to do. Something rings true. I want to be that person for you. The top 4 things that changed my health entirely was, number 1, eating clean. So making sure that our food was nourishing. Okay, so getting rid of the packaged foods, getting rid of the all the stuff that is not nourishing. Eating good meats that are organic when possible. So instead of going vegan, we went the opposite way and really made sure we were eating nutrient-dense foods. Number 2 was going non-toxic in our household products and personal care products. That was so essential. And I can dive into each of these, like what did we do exactly? What did we eat exactly? What products did we change to exactly? I can dive into these in future videos. Number 3 was oils. Oils have been incredible, and I've used oils for 10 years now, every day in our home, and oils have just become our medicine cabinet. And that was one of the things that our holistic chiropractor said, you need to start using these. You need to clean up your medicine cabinet and start fresh with real tools that aren't drugs. And drugs can be helpful in certain circumstances, but especially in my case, my liver could not handle any more drugs. It needed natural ingredients that the body could recognize and that could benefit the liver and not tear it down. So that was number 3, oils. Number 4 was a rebounder. Rebounder. That I have a whole story on the rebounder and how life-changing that was for my body. But after being a year in bed, I had such lymphatic toxicity and cellular toxicity without realizing it, that the chiropractor immediately was like, you need to get a little mini trampoline. And I actually couldn't stand on it myself. I didn't have the strength in my legs or my body to even stand upright, let alone jump on it. So he told my husband to get me on there. I'd laid down on the trampoline and he would bounce me very gently. So you guys, I cannot tell you how amazing this was. After a week of Joe bouncing me gently, I could stand up on my own. I felt the toxins go hog wild all over my body, and I was dizzy and it was crazy. But the next day I would feel a little bit better, and then the next day I would feel a little bit better, and then a week into that I could actually stand up on the thing by myself. I'd have to hold on to the wall and I could jump very, very, very carefully. And now I'm just like, doing all kinds on the trampoline, and it's one of my absolute favorite exercises. So those are the 4 things, you guys. These are the 4 things were life-changing for us and that our holistic chiropractor led us into. So good food, good nutrition, and non-toxic products in the home, oils for your medicine cabinet and emotional support, and then the rebounder for exercise. Now this was important specifically for chronic illness and for toxicity in the cells and lymphatic. So exercise in general is brilliant. You just need to find what is best for your body. But for me, the rebounder was just life-changing. So I have been on this protocol for about a year and a half, and it has absolutely saved my life. And not only has it dealt with mold, it's also dealt with parasites and viruses and bacteria and heavy metals and radiation and glyphosates, and that's what I'm working on currently. It has several different phases, and I want to do a whole separate video just on that because I think it's worth talking about. I went from basically being bedridden again to having a vibrant, healthy life, being able to run my business and able to make YouTube videos and able to function as a mom and a wife and as a woman in community, serving other people. This is just incredible. So I and having tried everything over the years, this particular protocol I think is incredibly unique and very, very simple. I'm going to use this video. I'm going to reference it when I start doing more specific videos on health and bouncing off of this topic and onto more like zooming in on things that we love and things that we use in our home. Please let me know if you have questions, what you would like to hear from me specifically in a future video. Subscribe if you would like, and tell your friends about the channel. This is something that I really want it to be a blessing to people. So let me know what you'd like to hear. Let me know what would be helpful to you, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.